Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders seeing what's current. It is. It's like they're famous more for their couple than the music. Sadly, who am I talking about? Blueface and Chrisean. They've been going back and forth. There have been allegations of physical abuse. There have been allegations of them going back and forth at each other, arguing, and now Blueface has officially stated that he's with his first baby's mother, Jaidyn Alexis, and that he's not dealing with Chrisean anymore, even though it's alleged that she just had his baby. And in the meantime, it's been disclosed that or alleged as well from his mother that Chrisean and he are actually cousins. That's not too out of the way for people. I can see brother and sister would have been really, something you can wave your finger at, and at least definitely keep them away, separate. But I mean, Einstein married his cousin, Darwin married his cousin, geniuses can marry cousins, I guess. I don't know. But back to Blueface and Chrisean. They have proven to be what I like to call the 21st century Kurt and Courtney. And that's Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. They had a wild, tumultuous relationship before his untimely suicide in 1994. And it just seems to me, it just popped him into my head. I was like, wait a minute, they're not even talking about the music anymore. They're not even talking about, his rap. They put, for journalists, they like to use the quote unquote song, whatever song rapper or whatever song singer and the thing, and they put Thotiana. And I'm like, that's the only song I know of his. And Chrisean, I think, has no records that I know of, or a very scant amount of records. And I don't think he even has a full album. He reminds me of a low rent, Silk the Shocker. They both rap off beat. They both have a, understanding of just, random stuff to can convey on a song. But like I said, Courtney and Kurt, that's the 21st century, for hip hop. I don't like to compare people like that, but it just popped into my head. It just seemingly made sense. It just made sense to me. And whoever is in the live chat, put a 1 up, because it might be Richard James. I'm not sure who it is, but somebody put a like, and they're still in here. So if you're in the top chat, if you're in the chat room, check out. Here's the ad. Subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. All right. He has a whole list of different quiet storm, R&B, smooth jazz, grown-up music from 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and you have to really just get relaxed, have something to sip on, get what you love, the lady or the gentleman of your life, and just cozy up and have a good time listening to his music. So that's subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. All right, that was the ad. Malik Carter, welcome, Malik. That's 2 Maliks. I have to keep track of 2 Maliks. So Malik Carter, as you can see, my Cash App, $ Skylar Saunders 1. If you feel so inclined to send whatever denomination you wish, I'm looking for 5, 10s, and 20s though. And the goal for today is $80. You don't have to spend all the $80. You can let more people come in, and it can be cool. But I'm just asking for at least $5, $10, $20. That's all I'm asking for. I'm like PBS. I'm like, the DuPonts and the Rockefellers and the Carnegies. They had to raise money. They had to raise funds. Just showing support. Thank you, Malik. I appreciate that. If you show your support, in dollars, I'll appreciate that even more. So, just think about 5, 10s, and 20s. That's what I'm looking for. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much for checking in, and tell a friend, tell more people, tell at least 10 people, but don't tell 11 people. Tell 10 people and let the 11th person figure out what's going on. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Chrisean, Blueface. Nobody cares about the music. Thotiana was what, like 3-4 times platinum? I don't know how many times platinum, but it was a platinum record, and it gave him stature in the game. But more so, the idea of their relationship, his relationship with Chrisean, has overshadowed the whole music and thought, the whole thought about his music. Nobody cares. I don't. I never cared about his music. I heard of Thotiana, and I was like, okay, that's nice. It didn't. There's no substance to it. There's no real draw to it. There's no underlining meaning. It doesn't have a serious kind of way, and even the beat is just very standard and not convincing. But it went platinum multiple times. I think. Let me make 100% sure. So I'm not just rattling off. I'm gonna make 100% sure just how much Thotiana did. I'll look at the video. The video did. Oh, let's see. It has. This was 4 years ago, so this is 2019, and they're still talking about the same song. I'm looking for the amount of views. I see 130,000 comments. They don't do the dislike button anymore, but I'm gonna see about that. 2.2 million people like it. I'm still trying to find out where the daggone view count is. Oh, here we go. 255,919,066 views for Thotiana since 2019. Blueface. So he did numbers on YouTube. Probably got like $5,000 for it, maybe less. Probably got $2,000 for it for all those views. Almost, over a quarter of a billion views on his one most famous song. I mean, he was arrested at, I think, the courthouse where he was going to get another charge addressed. But he has 2.1 million. I didn't mean to do that. He has 2.1 million subscribers and just over 500 million views on his channel. And I don't care about any of his music. I don't care. I don't care. I can't say that. Oh yeah, that was dope line. Oh, that was hot. I don't think I've ever listened to a complete song besides Thotiana. And I'm not trying to diss, not trying to mess on him, man. I'm just trying to be truthful, just telling you the real. And I'm gonna, yeah. Malik saying the remix with Cardi B helped. Exactly, Cardi B, propelled that. But that was 4 years ago, and they're still talking about the Thotiana rapper. Why are they talking about his other songs? He made other songs beyond that. If you just walked into the room, make sure you say hi, leave a like, tell me who you are, drop some dollars. I appreciate it. So Chrisean, my service is messed up. I don't understand. Is it too? Is the audio visual? Is it? What's wrong, Malik? Tell me the issue, please. I can see if I can correct it. My service is messed up. What is wrong? What is wrong with the service? But I'm gonna get back to Chrisean and Blueface while he's working that out. They just have that aura. They have that sense of what has been so called in hip hop so many times, Bonnie and Clyde, down the ride. That's been the one way. There's Richard James, Sushi, Mr. Kingdom. Okay, now he's totally trolling. That's a troll, Richard James. You're messing up the name of the short story. That's a troll. I'll take that as a troll. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you. Back now. Back now. Breaking up. Is it back now, or it was breaking up, or is it still breaking up? And don't forget that donation. I need that donation. But it's clear to me that this couple is either going to have some kind of shootout, or I don't want to wish that upon them. I'm not saying that this should happen, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they have some kind of shootout, some kind of last stand against the police or something like that, and fall into each other's arms. It's just so outrageous that it has to fall into the realm. It has to fall into a realm of, okay, not you, but you put heir as in somebody receiving the throne. You put the heir. It's AIR, not HEIR. Get it right, because that's how people mess up. They're like, oh, I thought it was HEIR. So you gotta be careful out here. You gotta be specific with these people. It was autocorrect. Okay. I'll bite. Yeah, it was autocorrect. So you put in H instead of A, and put it in autocorrect. All right. Okay. I'll give you that. All right. Chrisean, Blueface, they have the full free reign of the hip hop magazines on the internet. I go to Hip Hop DX, I go to allhiphop.com, I go to hotnewhiphop.com. It's all about hip hop. That's the thing. That's what's sad about the word, the title hip hop. It was never, trademarked. If it was trademarked, somebody would be a billionaire right now. As many times hip hop has been used, and as many times in different publications and everything like that. Now I know you're trolling, because you're saying that Blueface is easily one of the best to ever do what? Clean up a stall, or drive a car, or do I don't know what? Do what? Do you said Blueface is easily one of the best to ever do it? Ever do what? Can't be rapping. I hear his raps and I get a headache. I can't listen to it for too long because it's off beat. It's like he goes in the flow with a dough and a thing, and it goes and it's right. Like I can't even mimic it. It's like it's completely almost incomprehensible. You can't even make understanding of it. But that's the problem with him, And not his only problem, obviously. He wants to be back with his baby's mama, his baby's mother, Jaidyn and Alexis. He doesn't want to have anything to do with Chrisean anymore. And that's going to be complete bullshit. They're going to end up together. They're probably going to get married. They don't care if they're cousins. And they're probably second or third cousins or something like that. And probably not first cousins or anything like that. But they're going to get together again. I say, from Future. Okay, Thotiana is one of the best pops out there. I mean, I said, that's the only song that I've ever really paid attention to from him. I never paid attention to any of his other songs. I like listened to a couple of them just to compare them to Thotiana. And Thotiana actually has like a Thotiana. And that I can't say anything else because I get a copyright strike. But it just seems to me that there's no one that can match his offbeat rhyming besides maybe Silk the Shocker. There's very few people that can do the offbeat rhyming, which I can't stand. I don't like that. I can't stand the offbeat rhyming. I like on beat, on syncopation with rhyme and scan, and it makes sense and it has a message to it, but it's not beat you over the head. It just lets you know what is going on in these streets. Respect my crippin'. So good shows his flow. Okay, respect my crippin'. I'll write that down. You jot that down. I'll remember that. Respect my crippin'. Okay, but they're Kurt and Courtney. Tumultuous, going through ups and downs, going through in and out of being arrested and being released and having babies and not caring for her and going back to the first baby mama of his first child, or his previous child. I don't know if that was his first child, but his previous child, his previous baby mother. But that's where it is. That's where this all hinges upon. The fact that they are warring and having issues, and it's not about the music. None of it is about the music. Nobody cares about the music. Like you said, Respect My Crippin'. I never even heard that song before. I know that he got arrested. I know he got, he was arrested for some infraction. Okay, Richard James, you're not going to go there. Richard James says, "Is he okay?" That's, first of all, it's a question, and if you're asking a question, you're going to need dollars to attach that. But I'm gonna give you a bingo free space on this one, because this pertains to the topic at least. Richard James says, "Is she gonna kill him like Courtney killed Kurt though?" Now you know that's dangerous, because we have no evidence on my show, on my platform, that Courtney Cobain killed Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. There is no evidence of that. He committed suicide. We're not going there. We're not going down that route. Not even close. So, for an understanding of what it truly means to be an investigative journalist like myself, I have to keep it proactive, and I have to keep it objective. There could be tons of evidence. I don't care how much evidence there. They found a receipt for the weapon in Courtney's jeans. That's fine. That's good. Great. I only understand his suicide. I'm not here to speculate. I'm not here to put on a tinfoil hat and say, it was Courtney the whole time. Oh, no, she killed him. Really? Nope. Kurt committed suicide. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So, Chrisean, Blueface. They are 21st century Kurt Cobain, Courtney Love. Because it stopped being about the music for them too. It became about their antics, about the child protective services coming in, the different beasts with Axl Rose, all kinds of nonsense, and nobody cared about the music anymore. And like Mr. Troy Star Terrain said in one of his, and on multiple occasions, I think he said, Kurt Cobain, he looked at it and said, "Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, what?" Put one in the mouth. That's a good point too. I'll give you that, Richard James. Sid and Nancy, also punk rockers from the 70s and 80s. Sid and Nancy. They were also a tumultuous couple, and people were looking forward to knowledge about their relationship more so than the music. That's a good observation, Richard James. Thank you very much for that. It's like I said, it popped in my head. I was like, Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Oh my God! And I think on Sid and Nancy, that's another good observation. And there's dozens more, I'm sure. I just, that's the one that just came to my mind, and I just put it down. But if you want to create more relationships that were highly publicized and tumultuous, then feel free. And especially where the music took a backseat to the relationship drama, because that's what's happening here. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of his music like that, or his baby mama's music. His first baby mama, Jaidyn Alexis. Nobody cares. Nobody is looking for that. Nobody's trying to find that. They want to know what's happening with the baby mamas. They want to know what happened with the arrests. They want to know what's happening with all that. Paul Rubens and Grace Jones. I didn't even realize that. That's interesting. I don't know if there's as tumultuous and filled with rancor as. So you have to explain that further, Richard James. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And when it comes to the amount of people that come up in the game, you have to really extend the idea of you understanding the ways of the business. this is probably, just, they say that that's the cliche. All press, bad press is, all press is good press. Even if it's bad, it can give you notoriety. It can give you more views. It can give you more reads. It can give you more channel visits. It just depends. And I think, for all these hip hop zines on the internet that are covering these shenanigans of Blueface and Chrisean. Let me see what Blueface's real name is. Hold up. Blueface. Jonathan Jamal Porter. Born in 1997. So he's 9 years younger than me. Well, 8 years. About 8 years and change. Yeah, he actually has a solo album called Find the Beat. It charted at 64 in 2020. Everything else is looking at 2018, 2021 with TikTok. Never heard of it. Probably not going to listen to it. W Hotel 2021, 2019 Bussin'. He's a fighter. He was definitely sparring with Mayweather. I remember that. But his life is very similar to what Kurt Cobain was, and Chrisean is almost 12. Is about 11 years younger than I am. She had a video of her first child born just 2 days ago. She actually videoed it. It's wild. It's a wild mess. But we love it. Don't we love it though? Don't we eat it up? Somebody walked into the room. If you're in the room right now, if you're listening under the sound of my voice and you're not Richard James, put a 1 up and I think you put a like. Okay, we got 4 people in the room right now. Okay, we're rolling right now. Okay, whoever is in here, put up a 1, leave a donation. I'm looking for 5, 10s, and 20s. The goal for today is $80. My Cash App is going to be on the screen in just a moment. I have my phone here so I can tell whoever gave a Cash App. All right, now it's down to 2, so they must have got scared. I said Cash App. That's all right though. But Chrisean and Blueface, they're made for each other. I don't care if they want to be familial. That's their business. I don't do the familials because I did outside my race mostly. So I definitely know it's not going to be familial. But it's come down to the point where you have Blueface, who has not had a hit really in over 4 years, and he's still eating. Let me see. I'm gonna look at that again. Let me see. I'm gonna see how much this Thotiana had. It charted not in the top 10 of the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Certified platinum. I didn't even know how many it was, but it's apparently platinum, and it went gold in other regions of the world. Italy, New Zealand, United Kingdom, all gold, and platinum in the U.S. So he can eat off of that. I mean, I'm sure he, bought more chains and had different houses or places to live, wherever it was, and he might have not invested it properly or something like that, or maybe he did. He could have had a successful business after that. But that's just it. I can't go on any further when it comes to Blueface's music. I just can't. Maybe that's the reason why they talk about their relationship with Chrisean so much, because they talk about his exploits and his different encounters with her and the fact that he's trying to distance himself away from her now and be with Jaidyn Alexis. That's the drawing point. That's the point where it gets to be very weird, I guess is the best word to say. That's the strange part. I don't think I don't see Paul Rubens. I'm looking for Paul Rubens and Grace Jones, and it doesn't look like they ever had a relationship. I need you. I think you need to retrace your steps on that one, Richard James. But anyway, that's where we are right now with this couple. Nobody cares about any of their musical profession or anything like that, and their reality shows or anything like that. They just want to see, them, buck and dance and hoo ha and get down with the with the with with the hoot nanny. That's what they want to do. That's what people want to see. People are engaged with that. People love that. People have jobs. People are working 9 to 5. People are standing on their feet all damn day. People are at their desk, and they just want to see something funny and weird and goofy from these celebrities. And Chrisean and Blueface are playing it out beautifully, beautifully, wonderfully. They're showing themselves to be complete and utter. I wouldn't say coons. That's kind of far. That's fish. But they're coonettes. They're coon-like. Their antics and their arrests and their going back and forth on each other. And finally, again, he wants to keep away from Chrisean. It's just a sad, funny, weird, goofy thing. Just like Kurt and Courtney, they had the same kind of idea. They had that crazy in love, whiplash, weird, fast, getting money, doing shows, making music, but nobody really caring anymore. That's what happens. And I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish, a shootout or anything like that, or, something like the same vein that Kurt Cobain hit. I'm not trying to say that. I don't want anything to hit that. I don't want him to, put a big blue face that put a shotgun in his mouth and have shotgun mouthwash. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they have a similar idea. And now that I have it, understanding of an idea of Sid and Nancy, that's another great example of a couple where you're focused on the couple instead of the music. So, I mean, the punk rockers, of the 70s and 80s was more, he was in the Sex Pistols. It's like Kurt Cobain was in uh, Nirvana, and Courtney Love was in Hole. So it's all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and sex, drugs, and hip hop. It's similar, parallels. They have different ideas. More, I didn't see too much about drugs and the Chrisean and Blueface case, but it's very similar. All right, Richard James says, I could have sworn they had a relationship. She was even in the Pee Wee Christmas special. I might have gotten her confused with Whoopi Goldberg. Well, I don't think Paul Rubens was with Whoopi Goldberg either. She was with Ted Danson. I know that much. She had a fling or some kind of situation or relationship with him. That's all I know about that. And to wrap it all up, I just have to say they are the top tier entertainers without so much as a new song or a new movie or a new show out to promote. They just promote their craziness. There's that. All right, so about that, Richard Jaidyn says Blueface got his name because of drugs. I don't know about that. I thought that was because of the $100 bill. Maybe I'm, innocent about that. Maybe I'm, out of the loop on that. I didn't know if he got his name because of the drugs. I'm allege that all the way to whatever that needs to be, because I'm not sure. But I know what I am sure about. Ruler of the kingdom of the air. This is your favorite preacher, James. I'm going to talk about ruler of the kingdom of the air. I'm getting more views. I'm getting more reads. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying this. This is like the final stretch. This is the last month for me to finally get in all the promotion I need to get it to be the number one story for the challenge. I'm so dedicated and focused on this. Thank you for passing to your sister's husband, Richard James. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, ruler of the kingdom of the air. Let's talk about style. Oh, he's an English literature teacher. I hope he rips it apart. I hope he says it's terrible. I hope he says, this needs to be rewritten all the way. All right. But I'll thank you for that. Thank you for that. But no, let's talk about style. Style is probably one of those difficult things to pin down. It's just something that just comes with the body of a work. I'm gonna give you the definition according to Ayn Rand, what style is. It's probably harder than plot theme. This is her idea. Style is a particular, distinctive, or characteristic mode of execution. That's the short answer. There's a long answers, and I'm not going to get into it, but that's basically a particular, distinctive, or characteristic mode of execution. That's what she is saying in this, and that's what it is about ruler of the kingdom of the air. That's what I'm getting at. I have my own style. I mean, I kind of take it like hip hop. I chop up other people's style. I take Ayn Rand style. I take John Steinbeck style. I take Kurt Vonnegut style. I take Torre style, and I evaluate them and how they're all able to present themselves. And look, it's just in time for 0 people to be here on the live chat, on the live feed. I just need you to have the rebroadcast. That's all I can say. But for going back to the story, I know you're here, Richard James. It's YouTube that messes up. They really mean to have 1, but there's only 0 that's showing. But anyway, the style is that of particularly showing something that could be frightening. Your son being something that you're not expecting. You're not really realizing. You're not understanding. But then you figure out, along your way of investigating, just what could be possible. So that's the style. The style is, even Troy Star Terrain. I think he borrowed this from Bruce Lee. He has the style of no style. That's a profound statement. But I have to have a sense to say that I am definitely with style. I'm definitely in style. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so serious about this story. That it's written in a particular style to have it flow all the way to the end, all the way up to the point where people are realizing what it's about, what it all pertains to, what it all consists of. That's what I'm trying to say. Ruler of the kingdom of the air is in a style of Delaware. That's the closest I can say. That's as close as I can say it. It's the style of Delaware. It's the Delawarean style. It's boring. It's corny. It's whack. But why are many people still live here? For what? For people live here, not just go to school or commute to work. I mean, people live here. People live at the beaches. The reason why is because it's all about business. This whole story is business. No matter how you slice it, the father, Green Stockwell, is a businessman. That's facts. That's true. That's the reality of it. So if you have to take up, into your mind what exactly it is of the kingdom, the ruler of the kingdom of the air, just think about the state of Delaware. People have to find out about Delaware, ironically, because it is the first state. So you would think that people would notice the first state of all. We're at the front during parades. The Delaware flag is flown. The colors are flown as the front runner, as the first state to be represented. But nobody cares. It's a great state. It's the greatest state, in my opinion. The greatest state even beats California, beats Texas, beats Florida, all those different, the huge states that you can see, particularly on the map. You have to kind of have a magnifying glass on some maps to try to find Delaware. It's the second smallest state in the Union, behind Rhode Island. So that's the part of it that's very interesting. It's very, what I think is interesting anyway. Just the style. This is style. It's a style that people are trying to emulate, I think, but can't do it. Because once you're here, you see what all there is to show, all there is to see. You go into Wilmington. They called Wilmington the murder capital of the United States in 2014. Murder capital, Wilmington, Delaware. Because it's so small, the concentration of people, there's about 70,000 people that live in Wilmington, Delaware. And 71% make up Wilmington who are black. Hey, Angie. Hey, girl. How you doing? I see you. I see you, girl. Respect the goal. $80. Now, I'm not asking you to do $80 unless you want to, but just make sure that you drop like $5, $10, $20. Do what you can. That's what I'm looking for. That'd be really great, sweetie. I appreciate you. Thank you, young lady. Thank you. I appreciate you for chiming in. The YouTube shows one person. I think there's two people here. I think you and Richard James, Angie. But it's just showing one person. YouTube is goofy. Their numbers are weird. I don't know. But anyway, like I was saying, Wilmington, Delaware consists of about let me make sure. Let me make 100% sure. I'm gonna look up how many black people, how many negros are in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay, so blacks make up 54% of Wilmington. 54%. There's 38,627 according to the 2020 census. So, people ask me all the time, are there black people in Delaware? And I'm like, I'm from Delaware. I'm politically a black person. I mean, my melanin in my skin makes me a black I'm not a black mind. I have my own individual mind, but I acknowledge the fact that I'm a black man in America. I do acknowledge that much. Um, so if anybody has any questions about Delaware, come to me because I'm an expert. No, I'm not an expert. I had to look that up on Wikipedia. So, I just am giving a understanding of what it means to be a Delawarean. People from Delaware, everybody in their mind, I think, at least once in their mind said, I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta go explore. I gotta go to a different country. I gotta get out. I have to leave. I must go. This is not for me. I've had it. Even if they don't leave. Even if they never go. Now it says 2. So I guess it's you, Angie, and you, Richard, and you both are okay. Now it's down to 1. It's so goofy. It's very goofy. I can't even keep up with it. I'm not even going to acknowledge that it's silly. It's silly. But anyway, the style is the Delawarean style. That's what I can call it. Nobody else has ever said that. Who else do you know has written a novel? Who else has written a play? Who else has written a screenplay, put out movies that are based in Delaware? Very few, if any. They're scant. I've said this over and over again. If all you have to do is say New York and bam, 10,000. I'm probably not even exaggerating. There's probably about 10,000 different titles and movies, plays, and novels that exhibit what it means to be a New Yorker. In New York, wearing Timbs and jeans and a white, tank top and Yankees fitted. That's the New Yorker. That's the cliche. That's the the obvious kind of way of saying New Yorker. Actually, it's like rats and and huge skyscrapers and eccentric people and 80-year-old people living in Brooklyn and out of houses that used to be shelters and stuff like that. It's just a wonderfully crazy, goofy, wonderful place. I don't know how to explain New York beyond that. It's just a great place to be. Greatest city in the world, New York City. Greatest city ever, New York City. Greatest country in the world, United States of America. Greatest state, Delaware. Come on. Somebody say it with me. Nobody's ever, claimed, or a few people ever claimed the greatest state. But I have to say, Delaware is the greatest state. You can argue with me in the live chat or in the comments below. Do whatever you got to do. I'm saying Delaware is the greatest, and that case too. A lot of people say, I never heard of those places in Delaware. I never heard that many people from Delaware. People like Aubrey Plaza, Sean Patrick Thomas. And it just happens to be he's a transplant, but the president of the United States of America has his home in Delaware. My dad has a picture of he and the then senator, before he was even vice president, when he was a senator in the 70s, and he had dark hair, and my dad had a huge afro, and they're shaking hands. And it's just a special kind of way of showing what it was. That's where he should have stayed. He should have stayed in that lane and not become president because he's not that great president. But that's another story. I don't want to get into politics like that. That's going far away. Yeah, exactly. SNL and Lorne Michaels and Broadway Video and all the people that produce his stuff. They have always hated on Delaware. Hated. I don't know where it comes from. They've always hated. Like the Wayne's World, that was like, we're in Delaware. Okay, like they didn't know what else to say because there's nothing that can be, pointed to that's serious. But I'm just saying, there's a million stories in this state, a million, and they're here, right now, as I'm speaking. There's a million people that live in this state, the greatest state in the union, has history, has great food. We live right next to the Chesapeake, so we're famous for our blue crabs. We're famous for our business sense. That's the most thing. That's what I'm talking about when the Delaware style, the Delawarean style. I guess it's the Delaware style. Yeah, that it's business. It's all business. That's why Delaware is seen as so boring and corny. And if you know about it, it's because it's business. People hate the idea of business. They love the outcome of business. Oh, I get my check on, Friday, or I get my deposit on Wednesday. But they don't want to deal with the business of everything. Now 3 people are in here. It's probably 70. I don't even know. It's probably going to go down again. I can't gauge this, but anyway. All the different ideas, that emanate from Delaware are, that it has nothing to offer. What is it good for? It's good for going to school. I guess you can go to, Delaware State University, a historically black college university. You can go to Wilmington University. You can go to Goldie Beacom. You can go to Delaware Technical Community College, one of the best community colleges in the country. You can go to the University of Delaware, probably the most famous. I grew up in Newark, a small, college town, I guess you can say. Just downtown, just on Main Street. That's where everything is. The hustle and bustle is in Newark. Students going in and out of shops and getting their, studying and trying to get their degrees. It just makes sense. I mean, and this is the starting point. The first state. I mean, the story takes place in the first state, in the capital of the first state, on an Air Force base, in Dover Air Force Base in Dover, Delaware. That's the crux of this. That's the beginning. That's the cradle of the story. That's the beginning. That's the beginning of what takes place. That's all that is happening. That is the truth behind everything that goes on. Salute to Dover, Greg. Greg S is in the building. Oh my God. I got I got all these broke people coming in. I think the people that know, that I'm asking for money. I got my hat, pointed, in their direction for some dollars. It's like, I need that money. Why? Because I need that money. I need that cash. We need that money. Why? Because we broke. Broke till payday, brother. I'm not your brother, but okay. Yeah, and when's payday? February 31st, 1990. Never hate, as Jay-Z said before. You're broke, but till payday. Yeah, I'm sure payday is coming. A lot later. I'm gonna still put it up though, to the death of me. Cash App, $$ Skylar Saunders 1, and now it's down to 0. Look at that, down to 0 again. But I know there's somebody in here. I know one of y'all are in here. I know at least one of y'all are in here. But I just enjoyed writing it. That's almost a sin. That's almost horrible to say. Writing is hard. Writing is difficult. It is, and it can be, and I understand what people mean. But at the same time, once you're flowing, you know exactly where to put the pieces. You know exactly how to fit, everything into the puzzle. And I didn't have a problem. Okay, so there's Richard James in here. Greg Ash wanted to say, his 2 cents. Need to finesse a play, then I'll pay. Need to finesse a play. Finesse a play to get, then I'll pay. Yeah, I'll hold you. I'll hold you to that. I'll take you up on that. Yeah, I'm sure you will pay. You're not gonna pay. I already know. You're not gonna pay. You're not a man of your word. You just say stuff till it sounds pretty, because it sounds nice. That's all that is. I understand you're kind. I know what you're like. But it's an interesting grind, to convey something that hasn't been conveyed before, especially in the state of Delaware. Nobody cares. Well, Richard James, you have to now. That's the pot calling the kettle white. That's the pottery calling the other pot white. Richard James, I don't remember you ever sending in a donation. Have you ever sent in a donation? I don't remember you ever sending in $1. Not even $1. I'll take $5, $10, $20. I won't be broke for long, buddy. So you're gonna get that money somehow? What are you gonna do? You gonna do a scam? Are you gonna get a ski mask and gloves and run up into the convenience store or something like that? What you gonna do? You gonna get duct tape? you gonna get a ski mask and duct tape and tie up somebody and hold somebody for ransom? What are you gonna do? Won't be broke for long, buddy. Okay, yeah. We're gonna kick in Richard's door. Okay. Let's not be hasty here. Let's keep it civil, at least. Let's keep it gentlemanly. I'm just wondering why Richard said that, because he has not contributed much, if any. I don't think he contributed anything, actually, in the time that I've been able to know him. But back to the story. Ruler of the kingdom of the air. That's what is so, something that is always going to be something that is substantial, something that is true, even though it's fiction. It has truth to it. And if you can pick up on any of the ideas, out of the story, I hope you can, because it's written in the Delaware style. I mean, I try to make exciting events to keep the reader engaged, keep them understanding what's going on. But I've yet to see, major ideals come into play. I've yet to see that. I've yet to see. Yes, Greg S., you're exactly right. I'm not even going to say it on the live chat, but on the live feed. But yes, you're correct, Greg S. Yes. But that was your free space. Any more questions? You got to pay. You got to pay up. That was a free space. That was a bingo free space. If you want to ask questions, yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Richard James, but you have to contribute to the show too. Or you should contribute to the show. You don't have to. Just sit back and relax, in a sense, but contributing to the show helps me, get in a better place, get in a better position, get in a better mindset, knowing that I can garner enough attention and enough dollars that satisfy the thoughts that are coming out of my mind. That's what's so important. I mean, the dollars themselves are great. I love getting money. Money is great, but it's also to determine, is this a worthy cause? Is this something that I can actually continue to do, continue to like, continue to keep going? So Delaware is the greatest state in the union. I said all that to say this. Delaware is the greatest state in the union. You can't find me a better state. Everyone around us got TV and movies and shows and all kinds of stuff. You just point to random stuff, anything. DC 227. That's a TV show. Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore. What's that? The Wire. Philly, the Philadelphia story. Philadelphia. So many others. And of course, New York. Everything. You can't even name. Sex and the City, what? The hell? I mean, and then you cross over to New Jersey and you have Sopranos. But I mean, everything from New York is everything from The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, Sex and the City. I mean, God, you can go Lost in New York. I mean, I can't even name how many other different stories and different ideas, I've been inspired by the greatest city in the world, New York City. It is a spectacular place to be. I never lived there, but I visited there, and I've had completely New York experiences. Like, you wouldn't believe. You're like, nah, you're just making that up. No. I mean, they were really like what you expect from New Yorkers. They're gruff and everything is fast, like quick, fast. All right, I don't have time for this. Let's go. Keeping it moving. I don't have time. Let's move this out. That's New York. But Delaware is very slow, especially LSD, slower Delaware, the bottom of Kent County and the Sussex counties. They're very slow. It's mainly farmland. It's in the Sussex County is the beaches. It's very laid back. Not minding anyone else's business. Okay, Greg you asked a question. There's 6 people in here for some reason. I don't know why there's 6 people in here when there's probably 17. But I'm just gonna say that. But I'm just going to put this into the live chat, my Cash App. If you feel so inclined, these 7 people, all these people in here, and this is probably going to go down to 0 real quick. But I invite you. Okay, I'm going to just take your word. Yeah, I'm going to take you on your word, Greg. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Now, invite the people and allow them to, say, who is this goofy guy? What is this? Let them know nothing. Just let them figure out, okay, this is what he's about. So there's 7 people in here, and I got about less than 2 minutes left that I want to have on this feed. I'll keep going if you guys pay money. There's 7 people in here. If it's, I want to stop in about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. But everybody leaves now. It goes down to 2. It was up to 7. Now it's down to 2. Because I said, asking for that money. No, we can't, Richard James. We can go. Yeah, we can go for another 30 if you drop 30. $30 a minute. $1 a minute. 30. If you drop $30 right now, I'll continue. I'm sincere. Well, Greg S., you're broke too. You're broke. You're not different. I'm broke. Shoot. What do you think I'm asking money for? I'm broke out here in these streets. Richard James, let's not call people freeloaders. You're a freeloader on this show. You're not a freeloader on my stories. I appreciate you reading my story. Not for long, buddy. I'll tell you that. Okay, Greg S. I see you out there. But I'm just going to wrap up. Delaware style. It's a Delaware style. It seems like it's boring. It seems like it's corny. It seems like it's whack. But once you realize it, you see that it has some interesting to it. There's a bit of a gem to it. There's a bit of shining gold. That's a shining piece. That's why we're called the Diamond State. Because we're so small, but we're a powerhouse. Chemical industry, corporate industry, credit card industry, banking. So many banks in Wilmington. Bank of America, Barclays, Wilmington Trust, WSFS, WSFS. So many banks. That's just a few. There's more banks. No. Capital One. All these banks in this little city. And more like the scammer at Tate. You didn't say state. You said a Tate. I'd like to see how you say scammer, because you have to prove what you say. If you're gonna say it, you gotta back it up. You gotta back it up. Give me some concrete examples of scamming, and then I'll get back to you. But you know what? It's been fun. Talked about Chrisean and Blueface and ruler of the kingdom of the air. I appreciate you for rolling with me, and I will probably see you tomorrow at some time. Maybe this is a good time, but we'll see. Thank you very much. Take care.